Hello everybody, welcome. It's of course Cape Rugby TV, where every week we take a look at what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Nice to have you along. We, of course, big thanks to our partners on board with us, Score Energy Drinks. Remember, you can win yourself a case of Score during the course of the show. That goes together with a set of masks, courtesy of CTC Sports. So that's coming up during the course of the show. There you can see Score behind me right now. And of course, MChem 24-hour pharmacy, where we, of course, do our weekly reviews. We'll take a look at what's happening at MChem a little bit later during the course of the show. Don't forget the Iceberg Aircon competition that comes up also. That's coming up a little bit later. Folks, as you know, Club Rugby is gaining momentum. It's all fierce. There's a lot of friendlies happening at the moment, and we'll be taking a look at that. We'll also go down to Western Province Rugby, where we'll catch up with our high-performance side for the women's rugby, and we'll be taking a look at what Western Province Rugby have to say when we get Faisal Felton from Western Province in with our weekly province update. But of course, as you know, every week we go down to a game. We get some of the highlights, action highlights from where we go to showcase some of the gears. And of course, this weekend it was Goodwood up against Villagers. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. Right, so Villagers seem to have the upper hand there. They go into the second half then leading 28 points to 7. We will be showing you the second half highlights in a second, so make sure you don't go away. In the meantime, here's Goodwood head coach Wilfred Peterser, who's of course there now. He's moved across from Masi Pumelele and Goodwood captain Bradley Muller.
Yeah, man, it's looking good, especially being back on the field. Like you said, it's our third game. We started slow, it's a slow progress. We're humans and we expect instant gratification. Oaks are happy to be on the field, and then forget the other day we couldn't even play rugby. But now being back, it will take time. We're a new bunch of players. We got to find each other. We got to get to learn different cultures, and I'm sure it will get better. The fact that we can have TV, the fact that we can have rugby, the fact that we can have a full stand, was just amazing to be back on the field. So I'm happy. Yeah, man, there's a lot of youngsters coming through. One thing, building a club, especially with the situation at Goodwood, it's a new building process, and a lot of the youngsters don't understand. Like we say, we're living in a time and a place where everything is a light switch, everything is a phone call away, Uber Eats, Uber whatever. Rugby, unfortunately, don't work like that. It's going to take time, so we just got to keep on climbing the steps. The fact that we're having over 40, 50 players at our practice, the fact that we have under 20 structure, that's hope for the future. That creates, under 20 structure create youngsters coming through, seeing how the first and the second team do. That way we can build, and I'm excited for the next couple of years at Goodwood. Yeah, man, so it's next week Thursday is another opportunity to give everybody a run. At the moment, I'm not really looking at result driven. I'm trying to build a little bit of a culture, so I'm trying people at different positions. I'm giving some of the second team players the opportunity to play in the first team, some of the first team players on the bench to give their bodies a little bit of a break, and we see how we can handle NNK. So NNK is our neighbours. There's probably a rich tradition happening between Goodwood and NNK. They also have a nice junior structure, so it's nice. It's a nice neighbouring club to compare ourselves against. So on Thursday will be a nice tester for the different players that haven't had opportunity to play in the first team, to come and showcase their skill on Thursday. So we're looking forward to the Thursday night game.
Het was baie lekker geweest om, is lekker om terug op die veld te wees. En ja, soos ek sê, die manne enjoy it, but op die oomblik is ons nou 'n groep manne wat vir die eerste keer nou vir die jaar nou by mekaar kom. Ons het 3 agter die rug. Die was die derde een. Manne probeer nog mekaar vind waar soos is 'n nuwe span. So ja, ons maar net die beste daarvan maak en enjoy. Ja, dit is so, ons moet nou begin te werk aan ons strukture en kombinasies. So as die kombinasies daar is, en ek dink dan kan Goodwood veel beter span is in die Super B liga. En ja, kyk, dis 'n Super A span. Daai manne kom dalk so 'n jaar of 2 jaar aanhaal wat ons kyk in COVID het ons so in die 2 jaar so 2-3 maande gespeel. Ja, en ons bou nog. En kyk, in elke klub gaan dit nou deesdae almal bou, want manne vat hier en manne vat daar. Ons het nie geweet of ons hier nog gaan rugby speel nie. En ja, kyk, ons is hier en daar's 'n liga wat vir ons voorlê, en ek hoop als vir die beste vir ons as Goodwood, self vir Villages se manne. Maar dit was lekker vandag gewees, jong. Ja, kyk, die manne sien uit, die manne is baie lus vir die seisoen wat voorlê. Soos jy self kan sien, die manne vat vas. Villages het gekom om rugby te speel en vir ons aan te vat. En ja, kyk, die manne het vasgevat. Daar's tye wat ons bietjie verlore geraak het, but soos ek sê, kombinasies en daai ding. But ja, ons kyk maar vorentoe vir die jaar, en ek weet Goodwood sal die beste daarvan maak.
Great to see the guys in such good spirits. Of course, it was all action this weekend, as it was Villages up against Goodwood. Both teams getting ready for the season. When we come back from the break, we will be taking a look at the second half highlights. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody. You're back with us here at Cape Rugby TV as we keep talking club rugby. You'll know then, of course, before the break that we were looking at the first half highlights of the friendly match between Goodwood and Villages. Let's go back there now, where we take a look at the second half highlights. So Villagers walk away then with a win, 49 points to 21, and they're of course busy with their preparations for the upcoming season, which of course starts on the 2nd of April. After the match, we managed to catch up with Villagers head coach Gareth Doolan and captain Vince Demuynk.
Yeah, 100%. It's really good to have the boys back on the field playing again, especially after the long hiatus that we've had now. And it's nice to have a sort of contingent of players that we can rely on at Villagers to come down and get stuck in every week. Yeah, it's looking good. I mean, Villagers is going through a massive rebuilding phase at the moment. That's no secret. And we're working very hard to bring new players into the club. And you know, I think the sort of the only player that's left from 2019 is Demuynk, our hooker. So we're basically dealing with an entirely new squad because there was no rugby in 2020 or 2021. So these are all new players to Villagers, the new Villagers culture, etc. So yeah, it's looking good for the future, but it's going to take some time. 100%, yeah, it's our first win for the season because we had some tough outings against False Bay and Unimill in previous weeks, and CPUT as well. So yeah, this is our first W, which is great. From the perspective of the game itself, I would have liked to have seen a bit more accuracy from us, but that's something that we can work on. Yes, 100%, yeah. We've got Hamilton's on the 25th of March in our derby match at home, and a lot of the players that will be, well, pretty much all of the players will be their first ever derby game against Hamilton's at Village. So we're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to the rest of the season and hoping that there's going to be no speed bumps or roadblocks for the rest of the season going forward.
It's going well. It's growing step by step. Guys are scared, not scared. The fitness is the scary part for everyone, but they are getting back together. And the more that the club's games are being advertised, and the more they're being put onto the TV and YouTube, I think it's a great initiative. Whoever's doing it, guys are seeing it and they are getting jealous and they want to come back and they want to come back. So as the season is getting more onto the start of the actual season, guys are coming back and the numbers are picking up, which is great. It's nice to see old faces teach the youngsters. Some of the guys, last time they played, they were 16 years old at school. And now they're seeing what club rugby is about, and it's a lot harder than under 16, under 19 rugby at school. So yes, it definitely is. There's a lot of guys that are tapping on the doors of the older players. And it is nice because when you play these friendlies, you're allowed to let one or two of the older guys take a step back and let the youngsters show them what's happening. And they are telling the big guys, you know, this is what I'm about. I might be new, but I do have feet and I do have a ball skill, so it's good to see. I'm enjoying it. It's nice to learn about new players and their backgrounds. We've got guys from all over Africa in our team, and it's nice. It builds a complete community around rugby, and that's, I think, a little bit more important than the actual game. It was a good game. We learned new things. Whatever team you play against, they're going to ask you questions about your game that you haven't been asked before. Whether it's at the breakdown, whether it's small things in the scrum, whether it's different lineouts, it's little things. And Goodwood did that today. They asked us questions, especially in the lineouts and the landing of the lineouts. It was there to make us switch on. When we brought some of our reserves on for our scrums, they showed us a thing or two in the scrums as well. So now we know something to work on. It might be easy going not easy going, but easier on the first 50 minutes, first 60 minutes. Make a couple of changes, and then we see that some players aren't good in those positions at scrum time. And that's what's nice. We're playing at Goodwood, and they played a hard game, hard physical in the front. So it was nice. I enjoyed it. We're always looking forward to it. I think some of the games have been cancelled due to COVID and due to other people's trying to get teams together, because it has been, as you said, 2 years since we've had a proper season. And we have Hamilton's coming up in a couple of weeks' time. And you know what, guys are getting excited and guys are enjoying it. So we can only just do what we've been doing, and the pattern is working for us. New players, we did come off a few losses, but things are going forward. We got a win today, and some things are clicking. So we just got to keep going in that direction. Put a lot of trust into what we've been told, and we go for it from there. So and enjoy it.
Yeah, good to hear Gareth talking there about the fact that Villagers is in a rebuilding phase, a lot of new players, and certainly positive for the season ahead. Right, folks, well, of course, as you know, Iceberg Aircon and Compressors are on board with Cape Rugby TV and are running some fantastic promotions. You will, of course, remember that they ran that prize to the value of 1,500 Rand at their stores, which are, of course, in Montague Gardens as well as in Stickland. They've been around for quite a while, since 2009, in fact, and they do full servicing and aircon regassing together with customization and service for your vehicle. So if you need to get your vehicle air conditioning sorted out, then Iceberg Aircon and Recon in Stickland and Montague Gardens is the place to go to. They're currently running a Human Rights Day promotion from the 22nd of March to the 31st of March while stocks last, where you can win a free aircon and cabin disinfectant treatment. To qualify to get a full regas service, you need to go down to any of their stores and show your social media credentials and enter the competition. You pretty much do this in the store. Either it's Stickland, Iceberg, Aircons and Reconditions, or at least compressors, in Stickland or in Montague Gardens. And when you get down there, you're going to get involved with a little bit of Instagram, following them on Instagram, follow them on Facebook, and of course do a Google review. It's always fantastic to see these Google reviews where you are telling us how the stores are in fact doing. So simply get down to Iceberg Aircon and Compressors in Montague Gardens or in Stickland and just show them that you have followed them on Instagram, followed them on Facebook, and done a Google review. And you put yourself in the mix to win a full regas service. Folks, we'll take a break. When we come back from the break, it's an opportunity for us to, of course, catch up with the DHL Stormers. They played in Stellenbosch this Sunday with a big win over Zebra. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Right, it's nice to have you along. Every week we're taking a look at what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby and, of course, the extensions of Western Province Rugby, such as the DHL Stormers, the Currie Cup side, the Under-20 side, the women's sides. Of course, a lot of the club rugby players getting into those squads. So always exciting for us to speak about club rugby across the board. Well, the DHL Stormers, of course, in training at the moment. They've got a number of home games coming up. That's very exciting. But of course, this past weekend they played at the Craven Stadium, where they were up against Zebra with a big win there, 55 points to 7. Of course, this coming Sunday, they take on the Cardiff Blues at the DHL Stadium here in Cape Town. So that's very exciting. We went down to the High Performance Centre to catch up with the boys behind the scenes.
Brilliant wen, as ek so mag sê. Ek bedoel, die ouens speel nou brilliant rugby. Het nou lekker tyd gevat om die ouens lekker mekaar te gel. Obviously, as jy begin met 'n nuwe kompetisie, nuwe res, nuwe systems, nuwe alles, vat my altyd taaf. So ek dink ons het 'n goeie toer ook gehad. 1.5 het die 4 het gehad. So is dit nie bad nie, maar belangrik vir ons om nou 'n momentum te vang en ek moet sê laaste naweek was absoluut fantasties om te sien. Ek moet sê die ouens gel nou lekker met mekaar en dit gaan oor die spansport en dit gaan oor die kommunikasie met die connections in elke posisie, crucial posisies. Ek wil as almal op vorm is, dan maak dit baie makliker vir die span om vorentoe te gaan. En dis waar die span op die oomblik is en ek bedoel is belangrike paar wedstryde wat nou opkom soos Cardiff, Ulster, Leinster en 'n paar van die ander manne. En as ons 'n paar van hulle kan wegtrek veral nou by die huis, dat ons 'n goeie run kan kry, is belangrik om my momentum in te vat en hopelik kan die top van die Suid-Afrikaanse conference is, maar dis nie die belangrikste nie, so top 4 eindig en in die playoffs kom. Ek moet sê is 'n lekker vibe, is net iets nuuts en is 'n lekker challenge vir die ouens gewees om 'n bietjie uit te kom in Stellenbosch. Ek bedoel maties rugby en Stellenbosch in totaal het goeie ondersteuners en ek was daar gewees en die support daar was absoluut fantasties en is altyd nice. Jy kry 'n beter volume uit die crowd uit op 'n kleiner stadium met die experience te gehad by die Premiership. So het was nice gewees supporters daar te kom net. Ek bedoel baie van die supporters wat ek gekry het, daar was baie excited om daar te kon gewees het na 'n lang tyd, na 2-3 jaar van COVID wat 'n bietjie uitgekom het in die manne support en ons as span as die Stormers waardeer dit. Ja, boys sien baie uit en dit gaan 'n groot wees as gevolg van laas naweek se results vir hulle teen die Lions. Die Lions het hulle 'n bietjie ore aangesit en is ons moet net weet dat wat kom die naweek gaan 'n tawe enetjie wees want enige span wat na verloor terugkom gaan altyd iets wil bewys. En na ons goeie result moet ons net seker maak die ouens werk hard, die ouens gel lekker met mekaar. En as ons hierdie ene kan deurtrek, het ons 'n goeie run vir die paar tawennetjies wat opkom. Dit is altyd exciting om naby aan die veld te wees. Ek bedoel ek het nog so 'n paar weekies oor voor ek die vlam vat, maar ja, dit was 'n tawwe tye is altyd taaf in die rehab seksie en ek bedoel is 'n lonely seksie as die span is hier so buite geniet hulle self en dis wat jy eintlik wil wees. Is baie stil in die gym, is baie stil op die rehab matte En hopelik dat dinge net vir my mooi vat en dat ek op goeie vorm is en dan wanneer ek begin wanneer ek by die Currie Cup is, by die URC is waar die Storm is en die my nodig het, sien ek uit om my beste te gee op en van die veld af.
It's going good. I'm finding my feet. I'm really enjoying it and I'm really loving it. Yeah, no, definitely. I think for us it's actually nice. We're actually enjoying it. We're glad to be actually back on the pitch playing against overseas sides again. Playing against each other was also getting boring at one point, but you know, to keep rugby alive, I think it's the fans are really happy and really they're joyful to see us play against other teams, and especially now they can come to the stadium. You know, it's something different for us. You know, it's like I think the day they open up the stadium to full capacity, it's going to change the game. No, not at all. I think for us, for especially guys like me that never played at Dani Craven, it was actually a good. It felt like an achievement. Felt like something that's sentimental for me. I think we should do it more often where we actually play around Cape Town, and just to bring the community closer. Because I know after the game, I met a lot of people that can't come to Cape Town that actually made it to that game, and they actually came in numbers to come and support us. So I think to keep the game alive, to keep the sport interesting again for the youngsters in school, I think playing in different venues will actually be a game changer. Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's every game for us is very important from now on. I think it's a must-win, especially now it's getting competitive. It's getting to those parts where everyone's just trying to make it into top 10. Yeah, so every game we treat it as like a Super Rugby final or whatever you want to call it. It's a must-win for us, yeah.
Ja, dit is baie lekker gewees. Ek dink dis 'n mooi prentjie om te sien dat wat ons in die week oefen, hoe dit net goed uitkom op 'n naweek as ons die game speel. Nee, ek sal nie sê dit het 'n verskil gemaak nie. Ons het die week voor dit het ons so 2 of 3 keer daar gaan oefen. So dit het eintlik vir ons 'n verskil gemaak en dit voel soos huis want ons naby in die Kaap. Ja, ons sien baie uit. Ja, ons gaan nou, soos jy kan sien, ons is besig om te prepare of reg te maak vir die naweek. Glo ons planne is reg, ons planne is altyd baie goed. Ons moet maar net die naweek opdaag en ons plan uitvorder. Ja, dis hoe kan ek dit nou sê? Dis vir ons maklik om dit te doen want almal kry geleentheid by oefening, almal weet wat om te doen. Dis 'n clear plan wat ons het, so dis vir ons maklik om dit te doen op die naweek.
Good to see Jean de Jong back in Cape Town. Of course, old Western Province Rugby faithful. And nice to see Audrey Smith there. And folks, is Hajiva Diamani not playing some fantastic rugby at the moment? Really is. Right, folks. So, of course, as you know, on a weekly basis, we go down to MChem 24-hour pharmacy. As you know, MChem is, of course, the official pharmacy to the DHL Stormers. Right, and, well, if you need to get down to MChem on the corner of N1 and Durban Road, they've got pretty much everything you need. And one of their zones is, of course, the supplement zone upstairs. They've got sports supplement experts there to give you the very best of advice. And like the Stormers, of course, sports supplements is very important to make sure that they have the right supplementation to prepare for their training sessions, to prepare for their matches, and of course, very important also for their recovery. Now, MChem has got a very wide variety of products. So you can choose your favorite product that you need, you can choose the favorite flavor that it is that you might need, and of course, very, very good prices. So high quality products, very wide range of products, and at very, very competitive prices. And that's exactly what you need from a sports nutrition, a sports supplement range, is you want to find something at a very good price. You want to know, you absolutely must know that you're taking the right quality products. In other words, what it says on the label is actually what's inside the container. And that is one of the ways that you can determine if the product is good quality. But of course, at the end of the day, the results is what counts. MChem is, of course, open 24 hours a day, and you can get down to MChem and speak to any of the experts in the supplement zone during normal retail hours. Folks, right, we'll take a break, and when we come back from the break, it's time for us to go down to the High Performance Centre where we catch up with the DHL Western Province Rugby women's side. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Right, if you're watching Cape Rugby TV, remember you can find us on YouTube. Just do a search for Cape Rugby TV and like and subscribe, please, so that you know when once we've loaded your favorite videos that you'll get a notification. Great for us to get subscribers on the channel so that we can keep speaking to you and give more information about Western Province Club Rugby. And of course, don't forget you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. Right, well, the DHL Western Province Women's Rugby side is of course in action, busy preparing for the IPL, which starts in April, so also not far off now. They've been doing quite a lot of training behind the scenes and now starting to get some real game time experience in. We went down the scenes to the High Performance Centre, caught up with the girls again.
Yeah, it is exciting stuff. I mean, it's been a while. I don't know how many months has it been. So yeah, it's like exciting to be back and training with the girls. Obviously, we've missed each other throughout the year, last year, and then coming back this year. It's exciting stuff. So, I mean, it's a big year for us as well. I mean, that's the future, man. That's the best thing that you can hope for. That little girls, young blood, to continue the game. I mean, it's exciting to see new faces, fresh. They're so excited to play rugby with the seniors, and they're learning a lot. They're learning quite fast as well. Yeah, right. We are quite familiar with the coaches, so it's quite easy to continue where we left off from the previous years, because obviously we're comfortable with the coaches. Even if we weren't, we were still gonna adapt, but like it helps that we have like some kind of relationship with the coaches. Right, like I said, it's a big year for us. I mean, it was quite an upset last year, winning all the games and then losing our cup in the finals. It was a very big thing. I mean, especially for me, because I wasn't even playing, I was injured, so it was quite bittersweet watching the girls losing the title where we were winning it for like 3 years in a row. So yeah, quite looking forward to it.
Yeah, everyone is excited to be back because I see there's new faces that want to join VP, so that's a nice thing. So everyone is so excited to be back. Yeah, it does a lot because we see a lot of players that have more experience more than us, so they have more experience so that we pick some skills from them. So yeah, I also got some experience from them. It does make it easy because we are still doing the same thing from last year, so we're just gonna pick it up fix our mistakes that we did last year. So it's easy. Yeah, we are ready. We're gonna start in April. So yeah, I think we are ready because we've been doing conditioning since Feb. So I think everyone is fit now. So we are just ready to play.
Yes, we're excited to see each other again because we've missed each other. And we've missed being here, being on the field, training. Yes, it helped a lot because we're looking forward to getting our cup back. And the coaches are doing their best job to get us ready for that cup. Yes, it does. Yes, it does a lot because we've been playing last year, so we're not prepared. By being there, we've gained some fitness, so it helped a lot. Yes, we're looking forward and we are ready. We're more than ready because we get our cup back.
Baie excited om terug te wees ja, na 'n lang tyd. Veral vir my wat uit was eerste game en dan 8 weke ook uit was vir die seisoen. So ja, ons is baie excited om terug te wees en
voor te bou en te probeer om die trofee huis toe te bring. Ja, omtrent nuwe gesiggies hier so by ons en ons is eintlik dankbaar vir dit sodat ons kan bou met 'n nuwe span dat hulle in die system kan kom, verstaan die structure. Gelukkig en ongelukkig vir ons om spelers te verloor as gevolg van 2 World Cups wat afkom in die jaar. Maar ook baie happy vir die girls wat dit gemaak het. Soos ek sê, baie excited vir die nuwe spelers wat hier kom om te leer van hulle af en ook om vir hulle te leer in die system. Baie makliker veral vir Coach Laurie en Coach Jongie. Coach Jongie staan besig by CPUT ook. So hy bring van sy goed van daai kant af om vir ons te leer. Selfs soos Coach Laurie en sy is ook in die SA system. So wat sy daar leer, kom leer sy vir ons. So dit is 'n wen-wen van beide kante af. Ja, baie excited. Ek dink ons moet begin by die klein goedjies wat ons nou tans doen. En ja, ons is excited om die trofee huis toe te bring. Is 'n bietjie min tyd om te prepare, maar ons sien uit daarvoor.
Right, so welcome back, everybody. Good to see the players in action. Of course, always good to see that the players are getting that sort of exposure where we're interviewing them at least at the practice sessions. Right, so as you know, every week we give you an opportunity to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. You can see Score behind me right there. So you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. We're running this competition on Facebook where you can spot the ball. It's great fun. We get quite a lot of responses in from you on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. So, right, so we put the ball up and, of course, or at least the picture up, and you have the opportunity to spot the ball. You need to choose the quadrant, A1, A2, A3, B2, B3, B1, C1, C2, C3. So, folks, can you guess where the ball is? Right, and the correct answer is, of course, where it is in, well, I'm not really sure where it is. The correct answer is B, C3. I can't. Oh, there the ball is underneath the player's legs. All right. I would never have got that, folks. There you can see it there now as we show the ball in and out. So congratulations, Errol Murray. Errol, you spotted the ball. A very awkward spot. I had no idea. But yes, Errol, you got it. It was in fact correct. C3. Folks, Errol answered that question correctly then on Facebook. It took me a bit of a while to get it also. So congratulations, Errol. You walk away with a case of Score energy drinks as well as a set of masks courtesy of CTC Sports, a set of Cape Rugby TV masks. Folks, when we come back from the break, Faisal Felton from Western Province Rugby joins us, and we'll be doing your Western Province Rugby catch-up, and we'll also take a look at your logs. At least not your logs, we'll get there soon, but we'll take a look at your results from the weekend, your friendly results, as well as fixtures coming up this weekend. Back in a sec, don't go away. Welcome back, everybody. Right, you're watching Cape Rugby TV, and of course, as we promised, Faisal Felton from Western Province Rugby is here, where we do our weekly Western Province Rugby catch-up. Faisal, nice to have you back.
No, good evening, JP. Good evening, listeners. Always good to be back.
Yep, it's now becoming our weekly thing where we've got you on the province catch-up, I suppose. I like it. It's quite catchy. It sounds fun.
No, definitely. I think, again, you can really see the season's about to start, really, it's about to kick off and that there. So, yeah, all excited.
Well, I must say, I'm pretty impressed with the fact that the Stormers played at a club venue over the weekend. They played at the Craven Stadium. That was nice for Western Province.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was fantastic. I think it was a great Sunday. People that came out thoroughly enjoyed themselves. It was a fantastic, facility in terms of the view and, stunning views and stuff. So it was an awesome Sunday afternoon, and I think everybody that was there enjoyed it. Plus the result was, it was great.
Yeah. And of course, on the other side, let's get an update quickly. Women's rugby. I know we just took a look now at the highlights from the girls' training, but they're all preparing now, getting ready for the IPL.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think from our side, we're on track in terms of planning and preparation. Some friendlies coming up. It's less than a month away from kickoff. This past weekend, we were out in Stellenbosch. We had a bit of contact sessions with the the 7 Springbok ladies. So it was good to see in terms of what we have, and it was also good to see prior to contact you're a bit wary in terms of what we have and the conditioning and that there. But I must say that our ladies look great. It was good to see them out there, and I think they hunger, to start playing and, to get out there.
Before we look at the friendly fixtures and results, which we're going to do in a second, let's just talk a little bit about referees. You guys are still campaigning for all clubs to send nominees and candidates to you for a referees course.
No, definitely. Again, thanks. We want to encourage everybody and every single club to basically send us names so that we can start training, that we have these standby referees, that they have, standby guys that are there at the club. And again, it also assists and helps the clubs when it comes to, if Richie doesn't pitch up for whatever reason or there's challenges, that they have somebody within the club structure. So it's definitely something from the union side that we will encourage, that we're going to focus on. And I think that's our goal this year, to at least have a standby referee at every club, which means we have 100 new referees.
Yeah, how does that work? I mean, once you obviously need to first qualify as a referee, but then that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be working every weekend. You work when you're called on.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the idea of the standby referee is to get the necessary qualification, to get the necessary training, and I think it's about, a lot of the guys are still involved at the club. But if needed, it's basically from the union side we can appoint, because we know, Joe Bloggs is at a club, we can basically do the appointment from the union side. So it's just making sure that the games can take place on a Saturday. I think one of the challenges that we have is that if a game is postponed, it means added an extra cost to a club. But if there's a standby referee and he has done the necessary training, then from the union side we can appoint.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be working every Saturday.
Yeah.
It's only when he's called upon.
Yeah, but it's kind of the thing anybody should be doing anyways. Get your referees qualified. If you're not playing rugby, then why not referee?
No, definitely. I think, JP, one of the other advantages is that, the laws have changed, certain new rules coming in. It also helps the club. It's good to have on a practice evening somebody that has an understanding in terms of the rules. So from a club perspective, it makes sense to have somebody there that has a bit more understanding, because everybody has their own interpretations. But I think it's more about knowing what the rules are.
So I think also, if you look at other sport codes, there are many different ways to assist at a club. Sometimes it's helping at the gate, sometimes it's doing the paperwork on the day, the scoring, or becoming in other sports, maybe an umpire or a judge. It's the same thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, running a club is not as, I wouldn't say it's not as easy, but it requires a lot of support and help. Those days of one person running and controlling the club is gone. I think there's a lot of avenues in terms of assistance, whether it's administrative, whether it's coaching, whether it's refereeing, whether it's the social aspect. So I think, again, it's about the club identifying the needs and, again, looking at in terms of how people fit in.
I think it's great. I love the fact, and of course we look forward, like we do with women's rugby, we look forward to profiling clubs' referees. So folks, if you're watching the show right now and you are at a club, sign up, become a referee, and we'll make you famous. We'll put you on TV. Let's take a look at some of the friendly results then that came in over the weekend. Faisal, you're going to love these results. Temperance and Cities played against Retreat, 5-all. Gordons Bay Pioneers, it was a win for Pioneers, 19 points to 0. Falls Bay with a win over Helderberg. Scottsdene, 29-27 over Strand. SK Warmers went down to Primrose, 29 points to 7. And then Lamotte Wanderers, well, they scored a 10-point win over Stelkor Blakes with a win over Morningstar. And then it was St. George's, 20 points to 0 over Strand United. And Busy Bees, well, just 2 points over Laguna, while Gardens drew with Blue Jets. Noordlikers, 22-17 over Atlantis. And Violets with a 19-11 win over Elsie's. Faisal, let's take a look at some of those results quickly. Temperance and Cities against Retreat, very even game, 5-all.
No, definitely. I mean, looking at all the results, you can see it's a lot closer in terms of the margins and that. And I think it's basically showcasing in terms of, the season's about to start. Again, less than 2.5 weeks. I think the combinations now is looking at getting ready for matches. We've tried everything our last couple of weeks, so now it's basically focused on the first league game. So definitely, the results are very close in that day.
Scottsdene bounced back a little bit here after their match against Hands on Hearts, beating Strand 29-7, 2 points margin there. Do you think that they're going to start getting the rust out of the system and they're starting to get ready for the season now?
No, definitely. I think, Scott's it's a great club, great team and that there. And I think, again, I think that loss against Hansenot sort of, gave a bit more focus in terms of what needs to happen, what needs to be in place. So for them to, to win or to beat Strand United, it's a great achievement. And I think it's a great, it's a great result for them.
One of the matches that jumps out for me that was a friendly was Busy Bees against Laguna. That's an old rivalry, and Busy Bees taking a 2-point win there over Laguna. They'll be very happy, Alfred and the guys, with bragging rights.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think also from Laguna's side, it's a great result for them. Busy Bees being Super League B, like I said, less than 2 weeks ago. Before the combinations are there, and I think from Laguna's side, they've always been a great team, and I think for them, they always started a little bit late in that there. I mean, when I also played for Laguna a couple of games as well. So, I know, the setup and the type of rugby that they play and that there. So I think overall it was a very good result for them.
Let's take a look at some of the other results that came in over the weekend. Durwell with a 33-5 win over Kales River. Hamilton's beat Tygerberg 43 points to 12. Belleville went down to Lunga 7 points to 5. Rocklands with a win over Silvertree. Unimore 25-19 over Brackenfell, and Hamadias with a 5-point win over Rangers. Masipumaleli went down to UCT, and then Albions with they went down to Paul, although that might have been considered a Super League A team against a Super League C team. Where's Albions playing at the moment, Hazel?
So Albions I think is in Super League C. So I mean for them, like I said,
Paul, is Paul still in Super League A?
Paul,
I'm not sure. Yes,
Paul's still in Super League A and that there. So look,
quite a bit of a mismatch there, but a lot of fun anyway.
Yeah, I think it's always a derby out in Paul and that there, and I think from Albion's side it's a good tester for them. I think Mr. Kermis and the guys in the club and that they're doing a lot of hard work and that there. So I think for them it's just an understanding in terms of what they need to do and gives them a little more guidance in terms of they're a club that is is fighting and hoping for promotion and that there. So it's a nice sort of assessment as to where they are.
Let's take a look at some of the other results. Evergreens, this is staying in the Paarl area. Evergreens played against Lower Paarl, and then Hamlets with a win over Hands and Hearts. Franschhoek 33-28 over All Saints, and a good result for Athby against Delft. And then Belha went down narrowly to Collegians. And then, folks, also we'll take a look at your friendly fixtures in a second. That's coming up now. But Faisal, we're also starting to see a little bit of head-to-head clashes there in the Super League A teams. They're starting to test each other a little bit now.
No, definitely. I think, again, closer we come to the start of the season, you can see a lot of the stronger teams. The results are going to be a lot more tight, a lot more, basically the guys also don't want to reveal their cards in terms of players and stuff. So it's going to be a nice 2 weeks before the season starts.
We're almost there now. We're 2 weeks away. Let's look at the fixtures coming up then this weekend. Also friendly fixtures. LCS Rafira are going to be up against Collegians. Unimil and UCT, Hamadias and Primrose. Masipumaleli take on Retreat, while Manenberg Rangers travel to Morningstar. Busy Bees travel to Hamlets, and Violets travel to Collegians, while Temperance and Cities are going to be hosting Young Gardens. Noordelijk is hosting Lower Paarl, and then Scottsdene up against Eerste Rivier, SK Wommers and Rangers, Paneel Villages and Blakes, Bishop Lavers and Perseverance, and Rocklands are hosting Genadendal, Lamont Wanderers and Paarl, while in Super League A we see False Bay clashing with Brackenfell. Kraaifontein take on Visante Kraal and Paarl, while another derby there as they travel to Franschhoek. Meanwhile, Kales River will be hosting Belleville, Atlantis will be holding Police, Excelsior travel to Whistling Wheels, and Young Standards travel to Blue Stars United, while Stelkor will be hosting Simondium. Peninsula are up against Silvertree, and Young Peoples against Paarl Rangers, while Kylemore travel to Vineyards. Faisal, a lot of exciting fixtures then coming up. This is what we're looking forward to now. The Gees is there. We are days away from having the start of Super League, I don't even know, what season, 2022.
No, I think it's the reality is kicking in now. So, everybody's excited. I think if you look at the fixtures, you can see the numbers are increasing in terms of the amount of games that have been played. So I think for us, the reality is there. The season is less than 2.5 weeks. Super
exciting. Faisal, we'll leave it at that. We say thanks for joining us. We'll catch you again next week on, I I don't know, the province
Yep.
segment.
No, thanks, JP, and thank you, listeners, and good luck to all the teams this weekend.
Yeah, very exciting. There we go, folks. Well, we'll leave it at that. And you now have a lot of exciting fixtures coming up. Good results from clubs. More than 60 teams took to the field last week. We will see you again next week, same time, same place. Keep a lookout for our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, as we keep letting you know what the latest results and fixtures are. See you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.